Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. CIB to submit its report on 61 kg gold smuggling case to the District Government Attorney Office today. 30 people currently in police custody. Heartfelt tributes being paid to Constituent Assembly Chair Subhash. Nemwang motor remains to be kept till 1 p.m. at UML headquarters in Hangzhou. Putin and Kim holding a summit at a space center in Russia's far eastern Amur region. North Korea fires ballistic missile with its leader away in Russia. Dozens killed in a fire at an apartment block in Vietnam's capital Hanoi. Rescue operations underway at the 9-story building. Two-time Grand Slam winner Simona Halep banned from tennis for 4 years, suspended for 2 separate anti-doping rule violations. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. Completing its investigation into the case of 61 kilograms of gold smuggled from Hong Kong to the country, the Central Investigation Bureau CIB of Nepal Police completed its investigation and is due to submit its report to the District Government Attorney Office along with its note today. Chief of CIB and Additional Inspector General of Police Kiran Bajrachari said that preparations are on to submit the report today, since the report writing job is now completed. The CIB is preparing to give its recommendations to file charge sheet against the alleged and the charges of organized crime, gold smuggling and others. The investigation period for the organized crime is 60 days. The case should be taken to the court as the limitation of 60 days is getting over on September the 16th. The District Government Attorney Office will then get 3 days of time to review the report before going to the district court. So far, 30 persons are in police custody, while one is out of the police custody, citing the health issues. The arrestees in connection to the gold smuggling include customs officials, customs agents, gold traders, and Indian and Chinese nationals. The Revenue Investigation Department on July the 19th had confiscated the smuggled gold owing 60 kilos and 716 grams from the Sinamangal area in the capital city. The mortal remains of CPNU-ML Vice Chair and the Chairman of Constituent Assembly, Subhash Chandra Nemwang, has been kept at UML party office in Hangzhou. The UML has made arrangements for paying tributes to Nemwang from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. According to UML Publicity Department Secretary Gagan Besta, the mortal remains of the leader are to be kept within the party central office at Hangzhou in Lalitpur until 1 p.m. today before taking the body to his residence in Palwatar. Meanwhile, people from different walks of life are reaching the UML headquarters to offer their final tributes. The leader passed away on Tuesday following a cardiac arrest at the age of 71. The last rites have been scheduled for 11 a.m. tomorrow with state honors at the Pasupati Ari Ghat. The government has declared public holiday tomorrow to mourn the demise of Nemwang. Israel has handed over the rare speech of BP Koirala, a towering personality of Nepal's democratic movement and First People's elected representative, to President Ramchandra Paudel as a gift. Israeli ambassador to Nepal Hanan Godar handed over the written speech of late leader BP Koirala to President Paudel at the President's office in Sital Niwas. Information on it was shared by President's advisor Kiran Paudel. Nepal-Israel diplomatic relations was established during the premiership of leader Koirala in 1960, at the time when the entire world was aid to accept Israel as an independent state established in 1948. BP had acknowledged Israel as an independent state. After the establishment of diplomatic ties, BP Koirala as a chief guest had addressed the International Conference on Role of Science in the advancement of new states on August 15, 1960. That very speech was handed over to President Paudel. Ambassador Godar shared that he searched BP Koirala's speech with keen interest and long efforts. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now to more updates. The number of dengue patients has increased with the warm weather. Dengue has been reported in 3,152 more people in the last week alone. Although the government conducted a campaign to find and destroy mosquitoes to control it, the infection is increasing. Meanwhile, scrub typhus patients have increased in Palpa. Health Office Palpa has informed that the number of people infected with this disease is increasing daily. In the test conducted in 4 different hospitals of the district, scrub typhus infection has been detected in 119 people so far. Now to the international updates, and we have an international headliner. Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un are holding a summit at the Vostochny Cosmodrome Space Center in Russia's far eastern Amur region. The Russian president says he will help North Korea build satellites after the North failed twice this year to launch them. Analysts say Russia is eager to acquire North Korean artillery cells for use in Ukraine, while Pyongyang is in need of food supplies, fuel and modern military technology. It is feared the two may also finalize an arms deal where Pyongyang supplies ammunition to Moscow for its invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, North Korea fired at least one ballistic missile off its east coast. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Japanese Coast Guard had said just hours before leader Kim Jong-un was expected to meet President Vladimir Putin in Russia. It was the first launch to occur while Kim was abroad for a rare trip, analysts say. No details on the size or range of the missiles were immediately available. But about 5 minutes after the first launch warning, Japan's Coast Guard reported the missile had fallen into the sea. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno told reporters that Japan had lodged a protest against North Korea through diplomatic channels in Beijing. You are watching NTV English News Bulletin. More updates are lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first.
अब 43 र 53 ग्रेड सहित होंगसी सिमेन्ट।
Welcome back. Now to more updates from the international front. Dozens of people died in a fire at an apartment block in Vietnam's capital, Hanoi, state media had said, with witnesses reporting screams from inside, and a small child was thrown from the building. The fire started just before midnight on Tuesday in the parking floor of the 9-story building, witnesses said, an area packed with residents' motorbikes. Some 70 people were rescued from the block, with 54 of them rushed to hospital. Authorities have yet to confirm the number of deaths. The COVID-19 pandemic caused a sharp slowdown in the fight to end child poverty, with 333 million children still living in extreme poverty, according to a report published on Wednesday. The report from the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF and the World Bank found that the pandemic led to the abolition of extreme poverty for 30 million fewer children than was previously predicted. As a result, about 1 in 6 children still live on less than $2.15 per a day, according to the report. The report's findings throw a spanner in the works of the UN's ambitious goal to eradicate extreme child poverty by 2030. The report found that 40% of children in sub-Saharan Africa still live in extreme poverty, the highest percentage anywhere in the world. Google has dismissed arguments that it is the world's biggest search engine because of illegal practices, saying to switch to another company takes literally 4 taps. A lawyer for the company made the remarks in court in Tuesday in Washington, D.C., where it is facing trial over whether it is a monopoly. The case is a major test of the power of U.S. regulators over the tech giants. Prosecutors say the case was about the future of the Internet. The trial is expected to last 10 weeks and will feature testimony from Google boss Sundar Pichai as well as executives from Apple. Judge Amit Mehta, who was appointed to his position on D.C. District Court by former President Barack Obama will decide the case, the biggest for the industry in 25 years. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. China's 13th scientific expedition to the Arctic Ocean reached the North Pole region earlier this month, with the research work involving observation of key environmental elements, geological and geophysical surveys now underway. Since arriving in the region on board the Xuelong 2 on September the 5th, researchers have carried out comprehensive surveys on the atmosphere, hydrology, biology, and sea ice. The research will help fill the gap in China's database in North Pole region. It will also enable scientists to further understand the process of changes in sea ice and ocean currents and expand knowledge about the rapid environmental changes in the Arctic Ocean and its ecological response. The expedition team set sail from Shanghai on July the 12th. They're expected to travel nearly 15,500 nautical miles before returning to Shanghai in late September. Now to sports. Two-time Grand Slam champion Simona Halep has been banned for 4 years following the breaches of the tennis anti-doping program. An independent tribunal determined the 31-year-old Romanian had committed international anti-doping violations. Halep said in a statement that she intends to appeal against the decision at the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Halep tested positive for the use of the roxadustat at last year's US Open. She was also found guilty of using an unspecified prohibited substance or method in 2020-22 after irregularities were found in her biological passport. The Hangzhou Asian Games will start this month a year later than planned due to China's COVID situation and restriction. The 19th edition of the Games in the eastern city of Hangzhou run from September 23 to October 8 and will feature 12,500 athletes. The Asian Games, also known as the Asiad, are like an Olympics for Asian countries and usually take place every 4 years. There will be 40 different sports including athletics, swimming, cricket, dragon boat racing and e-sports, which for the first time will be a medal-winning event. Renting building materials and constructing temporary venues are making the 19th Asian Games environment-friendly and economical, embodying the concept of organizing green, intellectual, frugal and civilized competitions. With this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. CIB to submit its report on 61 kg gold smuggling case to the District Government Attorney Office today. 30 people currently in police custody. Heartfelt tributes being paid to Constituent Assembly Chair Subhash Nemwang. Mortal remains to be kept till 1 p.m. at UMO headquarters in Hangzhou. Putin and Kim holding a summit at a space center in Russia's far eastern Amur region. North Korea fires ballistic missile with its leader away in Russia. Dozens killed in a fire at an apartment block in Vietnam's capital Hanoi. Rescue operations underway at the 9-story building. And two-time Grand Slam winner Simona Halep banned from tennis for 4 years, suspended for 2 separate anti-doping rule violations. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. So I'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us to catch the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.